I almost feel sorry for Mark Carney because a lot of the things I'm going to blame him for in this video are not even his fault. He is dealing with the wild man. Anyways, here are 4 signs Mark Carney is being outmaneuvered by Trump. Choose any word you want. Outmaneuvered, outplayed, jerked around, dog walked. Anyways, here is number 1. August 1st is the new July 21st. Let me explain. So Mark Carney told us after the G7 meeting in Kananaskis that Canada and the United States are working towards reaching a deal by the 21st of July. He set that deadline because he thought the deadline would help focus the talks and move things along quickly. Carney then said if a deal wasn't reached by July 21st, Canada would raise some counter tariffs that will be calibrated based on the progress made in the talks with the US. You might already know that Donald Trump came out yesterday, really out of left field, and threatened Canada with 35% tariffs starting August 1st. That's in addition to the aluminum and steel tariffs, the auto tariffs, and the new copper tariffs that will be coming into effect on August 1st as well. Look, clearly the negotiations are not going well. And since that threat last night, we've seen Mark Carney change his deadline from July 21st to August 1st to match Donald Trump's deadline. So what does that tell you? That tells you Donald Trump is the one dictating the terms of this engagement right here, not Mark Carney. It's not Mark Carney dictating the terms. Here's the second point that proves Mark Carney is being outmaneuvered by Donald Trump. Carney dropped the digital services tax. This one's old news. Look, I don't know if I care too much about the digital services tax in the first place. What I do know is that it was a piece that Canada could have used to negotiate with the United States. Carney dropped the tax that would have seen American tech giants pay 3% of any revenue over $20 million that they earn in Canada. Now, I have no issue with Carney giving up the tax in itself. It wasn't his tax in the first place. It was Trudeau that put that in motion. It was really the timing and the appearance of Canada caving to Donald Trump's demands that irked me. I said at the time that we've just set ourselves up for extortion here, because what's to stop Donald Trump from asking for more and more and more? I said that at the time. And here we are, not even 2 weeks later, Trump is throwing another tantrum so he can extract even more concessions out of Canada. I mean, how do you negotiate with someone that says clearly, I want all your jobs and all your investment dollars? Here's what Donald Trump said in that letter where he threatened 35% tariffs on Canada. He said, as you are aware, there will be no tariff if Canada or companies within your country decide to build or manufacture product within the United States. And in fact, we will do everything possible to get approvals quickly, professionally, and routinely. In other words, in a matter of weeks. He is laughing at us. In case it wasn't obvious that this is a shakedown, understand it now. This is a shakedown. He wants our jobs. And it's not just today's jobs, it is future jobs as well. That's what investment dollars represent. Future jobs. He wants it all. And that leads me to my next point. At number 3, third proof that Mark Carney is being jerked around by Donald Trump. What has the US actually given us in return? Canada has been engaging in good faith negotiations with the United States. They said fentanyl was the problem. We appointed a fentanyl czar. They said illegal immigrants crossing the border was the problem. Canada announced $1.3 billion to secure the border. We did this even before Donald Trump was inaugurated. He said the digital services tax was a problem, and it is now gone. And everywhere along the way of these discussions, Canada has engaged in good faith negotiations. And what have we received in return? We have 25% tariffs on aluminum and steel, just like everybody else. We have 25% tariffs on autos. We have 50% coming on copper starting August 1st. Just like every other country in the world. Like, think about this. We gave up the digital services tax just for the right to continue negotiating. Like, let me repeat that. We gave up $7 billion in revenue from the digital services tax over 5 years for a meeting. Like, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a really expensive meeting to me. They're just to me, right? Again, what have we really received in return from Trump? Absolutely nothing. When you think about it, he hasn't moved from where he started at the beginning of the negotiation, and yet he has continued to extract concessions out of Canada. And that is the proof that Mark Carney is being outmaneuvered. Mark Carney is the Harvard-educated Goldman Sachs, former Bank of Canada, Bank of England executive extraordinaire that we elected to lead us at that table. It would seem that Mark Carney is getting worked by a New York bully. That's what it looks like to me. Last point that proves Mark Carney is getting outmaneuvered by Trump. We still don't know what Trump actually wants publicly, right? Till today, we don't actually know what Donald Trump wants. You guys remember when people were saying that this is just about fentanyl? over the last few months, it's been about the border, it's been about supply management, it's been the digital services tax. At some point, Trump's team probably considered it unfair that Canada does not want to be the 51st state. It is unfair to them. Like, they considered it an insult that we did not want to be the 51st state, because they couldn't imagine why that idea would not be appealing to Canadians. We just don't know what Trump actually wants. Now, it could be that Trump already told Mark Carney he wants supply management gone. It could be that he wants all our barriers gone and wants free access to all our industries. Now, I know there are a few Canadians that are tempted by that idea. Some people think it will make things cheaper. Imagine American telecommunication companies being able to outcompete Rogers, for example. I mean, God knows we paid way too much for phone plans in this country. The danger with that is that Americans would buy up everything. And then we really would be owned by America. Their farm products can outcompete our farmers because they get subsidies. Plus, I don't like the idea of Americans feeding us even more than they already do. Like, that could be dangerous. Also, their food is even worse than ours. It is so unhealthy that they made it a campaign slogan, "Make America Healthy Again." Like, they are more obese than we are, and we're obese, right? So look, my whole point here is that we do need some protections for our industries. If we lay down our barriers, the US will own us. They will proper own us. Like, they will own us economically, and Trump would have fulfilled what he said he would do in the first place. He would have made Canada the 51st state in everything but the name. And that is a scary concept. Now, I want to believe that Mark Carney knows what he's doing. You know, he doesn't negotiate in public. I want to believe that he will pull off some miracle of a deal, and we will all sit there and say, "We never doubted you for 1 second." You know, I wish at the end of this I could say I never doubted you for 1 second, but it does not look good right now, right? You guys let me know what you think. Am I overreacting? Let me know in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take care, you guys.